So good morning, friends, and welcome to another amazing episode of Get In, Get Fit series. It's a pleasure today to have Prajaktha with us. And I'm super excited because when I interacted with her almost a month back, I know this might sound very cliche, but it is so true. We just kicked off at around 9:30, 10 in the night, and the call went on, and we just didn't feel like putting it down. And we went from the sky to the grass to everything between. And so many personal sharings happened that one night. And after which I never felt that I was talking to a person whom I did not even know before. It felt as though I had known Prajaktha for years together, forget even days or months, right? So I would like to thank Kannan sir to share Prajaktha with us, and what a beautiful inside out. When I say beautiful, I mean both internally and how beautiful she looks on the external front too. So we're going to hear Prajaktha today and how fitness has made a difference in her life. So Prajaktha is actually a senior manager in Wipro. She works in the IT industry as a professional for more than 2 decades. Her passion includes running, cycling, rock climbing, trekking. She's a certified scuba diver and has tried surfing too. And she has also completed her rock climbing, where she's done her beginner certification. And she's won many podiums as a runner, right? And there's lots more to Prajaktha, but I want her to share her story. So over to you, Prajaktha, and welcome to our Get In, Get Fit series.
Thank you so much, Vidya. I'm absolutely honored to be part of Get In, Get Fit series. And I'm very, very grateful to Kannan sir for introducing me to amazing Vidya, who is doing absolutely amazing work for children, for people into fitness, and for the mental peace. Thank you, Vidya, and I'm super excited to be connected with you and being part of this series. And Kannan sir, again, he holds a very special place in my heart, and I definitely owe my running in Chennai to Kannan sir. You told me to take us through the personal journey for all the activities and running. So I just want to say that this journey is not about the accolades or the success stories or the achievements. It's all about the small joys, little accomplishment, even for an hour or a day or a month. Those kind of things. What running has made a very ordinary, mundane life an extraordinary one. So about how I started running. So Vidya, just feel free to interrupt me, or if I'm getting, too carried away with my personal experiences. So,
no,
so I started.
We would love to hear you unadulterated. So go ahead.
Suddenly, okay. So to start with, I was in US for a short period for a project, and suddenly I got a lot of spare time for me because my family was in Chennai, and I didn't know what to do with that spare evening. I never had so much of time in spare, so I started going for walks. And I was in part of US. I was in DC, and it's a beautiful place to walk around and all. And I used to see people running there on the roads. And I have seen people running at any time, they'll run during the lunch breaks, in the mornings, evenings. And I used to look at them with that envious, little bit of tinge, and how it must be, running on the road. And it definitely, it felt like a pipe dream, And then I came back to Chennai, and I got an opportunity to go for a trek. So I jumped at the opportunity. One of our family friends told that he's going for a trek and he won't mind one of us join the trek. And I took up that opportunity, and Karthik, my husband, also kindly, he allowed me to go first instead of he took the backseat there. And I went, and this was the first time, I was away from my very sheltered routine life, where I have traveled a lot earlier. I have gone on family vacations. We have done a lot of exploring together. We both are kind of outdoor people. But this was the first time I was out on my own without my family, and I was up for a new adventure. So when I went for the trek, I met amazing people. They came from all walks of life. So they were of different age groups. They were from different places in India, and some of them were outside India, and I didn't even know them from where they came, and the places were unknown. And at the same time, within a day, we could so easily connect and share our personal lives with them. And it felt very peaceful or soothing. And there were a lot of first times during that trek. So I went and I saw, first time I saw the glacier, it was standing in front of me, and it was a very overwhelming experience for me. I saw the landscape. So my first trek was this Kashmir Great Lakes. So it is supposed to be one of the India's most beautiful treks so far. And indeed it was, because I saw the rivers were, the white rivers. They had a blue and white rivers, and they were huge, and it didn't have any dirt around. It was lush green valleys, and we walked. It was a huge open landscape with the mountains standing very tall, and enormous mountains were there. And it was just nature in abundance. We walked along the flowers. The entire valley was with flowers, and we could walk on the flowers, and the en route we could have all along. Everything around was just absolutely beautiful and stunningly beautiful. It has like 7 lakes, and the lakes were like serene. There is no human around. It was only our group all around, and there were no houses, and we slept in the tents for the first time. I met people for the first time. They were like there were kids in 20s, there were people from 40s, there were people from 60s, and everyone was super fit and enthusiastic, and it was so easy to connect with them and bond with them and share the experiences. And it felt like, well, you were one with the nature. So there was nature all around. It was a mesmerizing beauty. Everything, the horses were beautiful, the porters were absolutely beautiful, the Kashmiri people are so beautiful. So around that, there was not even a single black spot, to find out, oh, this is dirty, or this I don't connect with, or I don't like it. And it was not only the nature which I connected with, and it was a self-discovery also during the trek. We did a lot of long walks. It is a medium difficult trek. And we did a lot of long walks. We crossed the rivers. It is a freezing cold water, it bites you. So we had to cross rivers to go to the other side. We had to walk in the mud, and the season or everything was so nature dependent, right? If the nature allows, you can go. If it doesn't allow, you have to sit back and wait for the nature to allow you to move forward. And you were in, you were completely in nature's hands. And there was disconnect. I couldn't connect with my family because we don't have mobile range. We don't have charge. After 3 days, the charge goes off because of the cold. And at the same time, that anxiety was not there. The crowd is not there. I didn't know what is happening at workplace. I didn't know whether my son has eaten his lunch or his dinner or his breakfast. There was complete disconnect, and it was only you and the nature in the middle of a valley. You sit there, and it's about your self-discovery. You feel so tiny there, and at the same time, you realize how powerful a human can be. Every time you cross a hurdle, you cross we climb mountains. You walked in the mud and rains. And some people broke their, one of the guys broke his
wrist,
hand, and so. But we had to carry on. You cannot go back, or you cannot go you cannot stay there because there is no help. You can only take a first aid, and you can go on. So you have to go through that, suffer through that pain, and at the same time you have to really, enjoy your walks. And that really connected me with the nature. It made me feel one with the nature, and it triggers something in me. It made me really feel alive, and I was definitely hooked to trekking. So I knew that I'm going to come back again and again. And I have done many treks after that. I'm completely in love with mountains and the nature and the rivers and the lakes and the Himalayas. But this holds a very, very special place in my heart because it's my first love. Okay. And
just to stop you here, I know we generally say Kashmir is like a Jannat. It means heaven on earth,
yes,
right?
it
So
definitely felt.
when you were very slowly describing every part of that nature, it literally took me, and I'm sure the viewers also, through that valley, through that white, pristine ice and everything. And you told about a lot of challenges you faced also as you were going through. I mean, there was
Right.
somebody who had a problem with their wrist or the hand, but still, it's like, never give up and just move on. I love a tagline of yours, Prajaktha. You always keep saying, and you've said it to me many times, you are stronger than you think you are. So can you just tell us a little more about that?
So it's okay. So it's always about, when you start something new. So the thing what this sports has given me is you have to try, you're able to try new things, you are okay to try new things. So now I'm at this age, I'm still a beginner in so many things. And every time you start something new, you have this lot of anxiety, lot of worry, whether I'll be able to do it, whether something can go wrong, or if I'll enjoy myself. When you complete even marathon distance is like 42 kilometers. Half marathon is 21 kilometers. So every distance, there is always a doubt whether you will be able to do it, whether you can do it, whether your body will support you, whether your legs will support you. And when you reach at the end point, that is the overwhelming feeling which you feel, you look back and you feel, oh yeah, I thought I wouldn't have been able to do it, but yes, you are, the ability is there, and every human holds, any size of human, holds that grit and that strength, which is very unexplored. If I wouldn't have gone for these activities, I might not have explored these strengths in me. And that is where I always feel that, you always are stronger than what you feel. Your ability is much more. And that exploring that ability is what gives you that confidence about yourself.
I think you should drink some water right now. As you drink or sip into your water, I'm going to ask you another question.
Sure.
You said so beautifully well. You said very rightly that, all of us face through challenges. And when you explore the unexplored aspect of your internal being, that's when the inner strength comes out. And that's how you exuberate the confidence. And later, if you think about it, it actually builds up your self-confidence, your self-esteem. You feel a lot more self-worth about yourself. You feel that you've achieved something.
Yes, definitely.
The rest is history, as they say. It's just a cascade of positive events which happens after that. Now, you said you are an IT professional, Prajaktha, and I'm sure you have a family to take care. You have a son. And how did you manage, trekking and office and home and, of course, a growing child? And how do you manage all this?
Yes. So for that, I really don't have much to credit myself. It's really good support. So I started that first trek, and even my husband, he's quite adventurous or outdoor person. And in fact, we traveled a lot. We used to go around, travel. He always made vacations a lot more fun. And he was there, and that is how we managed. Like one trek I'll go, other trek you will go. So one parent we will keep for our son, his operations needs to be taken care. And it's, if you really look at it, it's just 7 days in a year. So if you really plan it well, so it does work. It's just that, we have that block, that whether am I like, even I'm like, I have not traveled, like I'm not a very travel person. I like the adventure part of it, and it's just once in a year I take those 7 days out for myself. So there definitely my family support us there. To be very surprisingly, like my husband is Tamilian, and he comes from a very down south, and my in-laws are from a very small place. But when I started running, my father-in-law was very encouraging. He said, I also used to run. He comes from Air Force background, definitely. So, and that small appreciation, takes you, it gives you a lot more comfort and the confidence about what you're doing, and you're going in a right direction. You're making a good choice or making good choices. So definitely it was family who supported, who encouraged, and they did understand the need, and maybe he could connect, my husband could connect with the need of, being on your own and exploring the adventure. And those 7 days were so fulfilling and refreshing that it set my entire year's mood based on that one adventure. So one trek, you give 7 days to somebody, and then the entire year is, you get a happy year in return. So returns are really high. So if you understand that, it's a win-win for both.
Awesome, awesome. As you said that there has been a number of podium finishes on your name. So how do you actually plan such runs? Because there are times when we spoke, you said every day I enjoy running. I mean, it is not something I look forward only for that one event. Every day, every moment of my run, I put up a smile. I love the smiling faces around. I enjoy everything around me. And you've also said Kannan sir is your inspiration. So tell us more about this running feel and the running, the kind of mood you get yourself into.
Yeah, sure. So I want to tell how I really started running. Okay, so I came back to Chennai and I started Google search for running groups. And I came across Chennai runners, and I put a query there that, is there any runner in KK Nagar? So after 1 or 2 days, Kannan sir responded back saying that I run here in this area and you can join me at 5:30 in the morning. And he sent the location. So I have a friend here in my society. Our both kids go to same school. So we used to go for walks, and we had started going to gym together. And I told her about this idea, and we both were pretty excited about it. At the same time, there was little hesitation because we do not know. She's a dancer, and she had gone through some knee issues, and she was like, I don't know whether is it advisable to take up running and all. So I borrowed her bike, and first day I went there. So Kannan sir was waiting. I still remember Kannan sir in Hyderabad running t-shirt. Now I have a lot many these race t-shirts with me, but when I saw that first time, it was very impressive. And he was ready with all that. He has that childlike enthusiasm and the white smile, and he's very encouraging. So I met him, and he said we did a little bit of warm up and we started running. So running came very easy to Kannan sir that time, and he was running and he was talking, he was tracking the conversation. I was like totally drenched in my sweat. I was sweating. I was worried about whether my legs will help me. I was huffing and puffing, and he was asking something, and I'm giving only, half word answers like, no, yes, something like that. And and we completed 3 kilometers, and Kannan sir told that you have done pretty well for your first run, and you come and joined the second day. So then I went back, I told my friend about it, and she was in it, So then we started, and she has another friend, doctor, who's a doctor there, Dr. Radha. And she was also excited about this. And we 3 people from our society, we started running. So we used to go to Kannan sir's place, and he used to loop in between. Like, he was a little faster runner than all of us. So he always was there and to motivate us, encourage us. And he saw the runner, he didn't worry about my age or my gender or my timing. He said, okay, you've come for running. And he was very motivating. He said, I'm going to tell my daughter that somebody woke up at 5:30 and came for running. I'm going to bring her also into running. So these were the conversations which really, helped me to take my running in a very positive way. So that is how my running journey actually started. And that was just that 40 minutes run, okay, at the 5:30 in the morning, which doesn't disturb your rest of the schedule. You're back by 7 o'clock. You can make your son ready for the school. You're ready to make breakfast. You can go to work. Everything is set. So it's just that your half an hour is going to set you in a very different energy levels. I do that run and I've already done something, achieved something. I got that out for myself. So I'm not only, working for slogging for to meet the ends. And I had that I suddenly became a privileged person. I could take 1 hour for myself. The stress buster, it was there, and I had my own space. The roads also felt quite, you felt you own the roads, that suddenly the familiarity was very high there, and the city seemed like your own city. So that is how my running started.
I'm so excited to hear this because of 2-3 things which you projected. The first thing you said was, the ripple effect you created. You had this dancer friend, and then you had a doctor friend, and see that the positive intention brought many more like-minded people into running. So that was one very, very nice thing which I gathered. The other one was Kannan sir. I know him now for quite some time. And sir is such a person, as you said, he is such an encouraging person. So he motivates all of us to inspiration to many. And he never bothered about your pace or the kind of, the way you ran. But I think that small words of encouragement made you feel like, you did something great, and that carried off through the day. And the last, what you said also, that, the kind of energy level you carried through the day had a positive imprint in every activity of your day. Therefore, so whether it was in work, whether it was in cooking, or whether it was in your, taking care of your son, or any activity for that matter, it made you feel very nice about yourself. And of course, having that me time, which many people think that it's, it's not permitted, but when you steal some time for yourself, and it makes you feel very nice. So, absolutely great. Tell us a little more about your diving and your surfing experience. I mean, we heard your running, we heard your trekking. I want to hear more of your diving and your surfing.
Yeah, so this is how it happened. You talked about the ripple effect. So I started running. I started trekking, which led me to running. So I started running. I came across a group. They were cycling and doing triathlons, and then I got introduced to a scuba diver. So she's from Chennai, and she runs a scuba school in Chennai. So earlier it was in Mahabalipuram, and she was part of our cycling group, and I was pretty excited about it. So I had gone for a vacation once to Andaman, and I had done that scuba diving there. So you have a help who will take you, and scuba diving is it's a life-altering experience. I really don't know whether my words can do just to that, but there is a world below water which you are not, you're seeing it for the first time. It's a whole new world and universe which exists, and there are so many different varieties of sea creatures, and then there are literally treasures. So that is where I said, okay, we are going to go for scuba. So one of our cycling friends, he's part of this mongrels team, Scuba Sir. So he introduced me to this person. And we decided to go for a group scuba. So they first give training, and then they take you and they tell you how to use the equipments, how to breathe, and how to control your height in the water pressures, how to manage the pressures and all. So it's absolutely exciting. And I went there, and it's so colorful down there. It's so peaceful. The sun is not reaching there. It's completely dark, and there are so many beautiful creatures there, and they come, very close to you, and at the same time, it's a wonder, And I remember when I came up after the scuba dive, it was very emotional. The heart was like full, and it was a beautiful experience. So that is basic buddy certification is what I have done, where they teach you how to navigate underwater and how to you can go with a buddy who's equally qualified, so that you don't get lost, because you do not have a sense of direction in the water. You don't know where it is. There is no direction. There is no Google map there, and you feel that maybe you're going straight, but it is not true, because the waves, the undercurrent can take you anywhere. And that is how the diving started. And then I did many dives here in Chennai. Then they moved. We have done a port. At port, we had for a few years they were open there, and they have a sunken ship below water at the port. So you literally go through the entire ship. There are a lot of hidden treasures. So there are some keys still lying there. There are drawers, and you can sense how beautiful this ship was. And you go around, you go to the deck, and you can see there is some. So it's a very beautiful experience. It's all about exploring and getting to know. And there are some creatures who could be very colorful. At the same time, they could be very dangerous. You are not supposed to touch anywhere. And so you move through all that beautiful green. There are plants there. There are many things which is an unknown world. And that is how diving started. So I did in Chennai port. They had taken us to Nilangare. So there also we had done. There was also some plane crash there. So wherever these things, there the life comes alive around it. So I explored that part. And then Mahabalipuram, obviously, that they have these temples underwater. So some part of it I have explored it. So it requires much more advanced certification, the training there. So whatever was in my ability, I had explored it, and it was absolutely beautiful experience. Everyone, at least once in a lifetime, should do scuba diving.
Awesome. I'm just thinking how we started and where we are now. You took us from land level to 100 or 1,000 meters above the sea level. Now you've taken us inside the sea, and you spoke to us about little creatures inside, the color of the ocean, and everything. You're so picturesque in your description. I mean, so vivid. I mean, you just take us through it as though you're painting something, or painting a canvas in front of our eyes. So beautiful. We would love to join you, Prajaktha, in one of this, either above for the trek or below, or both.
Absolutely.
How many of us would love to join this? But I guess we understand that there are a lot of training which is necessary, especially with your breath and your fitness levels, right?
So for scuba, you don't really need a lot of training. You don't even need to know swimming. The only thing is, if you want to go to the next level or be an expert there, then these things come. I myself, I don't consider myself a great swimmer. But they do teach you. So they have one session only to teach you how to breathe, how to use the mask, and how to use cylinders, and how to wade through. And there will always be a person who will take you through. So you don't really need to be fit. You don't really need to be, you just need the willingness to explore and see that. And something, all these things are in our city. This Chennai city, we have sea, we have roads, we have rivers, and it has so much adventure to offer. When I came to Chennai, it was such a cultural, that is what supposedly, it's a conservative cultural city where I know about music. It's very high in musically cultured and all, but the adventure aspect of Chennai, it has so much to offer. It has sailing, it has surfing, it has scuba, it has a lot many adventures here. We have actually done some triathlons where we have explored these quarries. So there is a lot in Chennai, to really, and this city has given me so much of adventure, which makes me really fall in love with this city. It has like everything.
Awesome, awesome. I mean, as you said very clearly, Chennai is more known for its creative arts, whether it is,
Yes.
the dance, the song, the music, and literature and all that. Chennai or Tamil Nadu for that matter. And now making it look for a city of adventure sounds very,
Yes.
exciting, as you said. Just a last question here, Prajakta. Tell us more about how do you think, the new people, I mean, talking about the next generation, how are they getting into this adventurous part of the city?
I have a son who's 18, and he has started going to gym and all. So I feel that, adventure, when we talk about adventure sports, it's all about the youth, the ability. So I started going for rock climbing. I've been doing it for a few years, but I still consider myself at a very beginner level. And I connect with the kids, who are in their 20s, and they're amazing. They're amazing. And I find it, it's so like, it feels like I feel very proud of them that at this age, they are ready to explore these things. It is for them. And instead of generally the culture or the routine or our upbringing is like, you do 10th, then you do 12th, you do the studies, higher studies, graduation, then you get into the job, you get married, you have kids. So I have followed that pattern, and I came to all these new activities in my 30s. Like, it was pretty late. So, but when I see these youngsters there, they're in their 20s, 21, 22, they're studying, they're exploring these things, and they're excelling in that. And it's very, very inspirational to see them and see them doing these things. And definitely it gives you a roadmap. There are many addictions around. So this is one addiction which is going to lift your life, not off track you from the good things. It's about making good choices. So that is how I feel about today's youth. And I think they are much more aware of it, and they are exploring these things. And it's very heartening to see that happen.
Awesome, awesome. I mean, this is exactly what, I thought it is, because many addictions bring you down in life, but there are few addictions which can lift your spirits and also bring about positive effect, not only in your personal and professional life, but it'll also give a nice tangential reward to the people around you to see that, you can weave a success story like how Prajaktha did just today, right? So those different choices which you made has brought you up in life, has kept you through thick and thin of lives, of the life itself, the journey of life itself. Knowing you on a personal front also, I'm sure all these adventures has kept you grounded and has kept you, to that very aspect of life, like never give up, right?
Yes, true.
Absolutely. So you have a lot of people who have appreciated you. Kannan sir and Sudama have said, very happy to listen to you and listen to your experience. All the very best. Usha ma'am says, awesome to see you and hear you. You're a versatile girl, always wanting to do things differently and enjoy it. Lots to learn from you. That's Usha ma'am. And Ganesh has said, it's always a pleasure to listen to your varied and inspiring experiences. Best wishes. So we are super excited, Prajaktha, to have you. And I don't want to miss out on those sabudana khichdi or the sabudana vada, which we had promised on ourselves. So I know you are a true Maharashtrian.
Yes, I
and
am definitely going to.
yeah,
I'm definitely going to keep my promise, Vidya. It's very humbling. I was pretty skeptical about whether it's going to be, like whether I'll be able to deliver. So it's a very happy and nice conversation. Thank you so much, Vidya.
Thank you so much, Prajakta. You are a superwoman, and with the International Women's Week or month, or however you want to call March 2022, I've had a very powerful woman this time, Prajakta, for you. And it's a pleasure to hear from you, dear. And all good wishes and prayers for a great and a better, brighter future for you too. And with that, we come to the end of this episode. Thank you so much, friends, for joining in. As always, we'll meet again next Saturday for another amazing episode. Thank you, Prajakta. Thank you, friends. It's goodbye from me, Vidya. Take care.
Thank you. Thanks, Vidya.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much.